Um, um, thank you very much. Yes, hello everyone. Greetings. Welcome to our beautiful meeting. You know, the ladies who are really, really hungry for change on the continent, especially for the young women out there in different countries of Africa. So, you're going to allow me to first read through the agenda that we're going to have swiftly and see so that we see how we're going to work or get along, right? So we're supposed to start with like opening ceremony. Basically, I was supposed to do that, and I think I'll get back to that. And then we'll have an open address, like opening address from Mary Apollo. Then we'll have a Beijing declaration and platform action, and I'll be presenting that because I think that's what I've been working on as young girls in the past 2 weeks. And then we'll have guest speakers. We have Dr. Danielle, then we'll have Queen Mother, right, speak to us for 12 minutes, 13, 12 minutes. Then we'll have plenary session, right? The first plenary session, and we'll have speakers. That session is basically on the utilizing the Beijing Declaration on the platform of action to advance our continent. That is to say technology, SDGs, and addressing global changes. So those are the highlights that we're going to have in the first session, plenary session, and that from there we'll have Mariam, and I'm so glad that she's on the platform already. And then we have other speakers that I'll be bringing out as we go on. Then the second session we'll be having Irene Lassie as our speaker. I think she's prepared. Will be harnessing how collective potential young people-led innovation and change can bring about on the continent. Then the last session will be on environmental degradation, and our speakers will be Gloria Kasang-Bolt. I believe she's already here. In case she's not here, we'll keep on and she'll find us. Then we'll have social justice and protection. I believe Queen Mother will have to speak about that. We beg. We have that is social justice and protection of the rights of um, African women and vulnerable population. Queen Mother, we beg to have some wisdom on that from your side. Then though the speaker is supposed to be Mary, but Queen Mother will have some highlights on it. Then we have intergenerational solidarity. Yes, ma'am, that is Queen Mother helping us highlight something on that. So with that, and also leadership and cultural transformation. So that's briefly what we're going to have, and then we'll look forward to the closing ceremony. So with that, you're going to allow me introduce myself firstly. I'm called Nachitende Mary, and I'm here as the moderator of the day, right? I'm called Nachitende Mary. I'm 25 years. I made 25 this year, and I'm a proud youth worker because I really work with young people, especially young women in Uganda, refugee like the most crisis impacted areas, the refugee camps, the slums. Those are areas that I usually look up to. I've given out, I look for scholarships and sponsorships for young girls to go to school. Like I do a lot, and I'm really, really passionate about helping out a young girl child get to somewhere, right? Become a voice to another. And I'm a voice to the young people. So that's basically I could give about myself. And with that, you're going to allow me, because we're trying to work on time, introduce Mary to give us an opening ceremony, a welcome address, especially to the guest speakers that she has for us today. And then we'll move forward to the Beijing Declaration, you know, and the platform of action. Thank you very much. Mary, the platform is yours. May you please unmute yourself and tell us about this event. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you for the great team, everybody who have made this workout. We organized everything in a short time. And I really would like to acknowledge your commitment and dedication for the work and the energy that I have received from them. So 7 months ago, I did call to action where I called like 30 African women, leaders who are doing outstanding work for the continent. I called them and we created a platform, and I told them about the vision, the strategy that we have, and the importance of doing this work collectively. Let our voice here be heard as young women. Bring our hidden talent and work together.
C4, C4, C4 reading, CR Tube.
Mary, please mute yourself.
C4 reading.
So that was the goal, because I had that passion when I was 17 years old, when I was in a university student. I find out I have that passion, but it took me some time. So I went through challenges, starting from family, the society, the public challenges that I have to overcome. And then I start working on myself, building the skills, and become the leader that I am today. Then from along the way, I find mentors, friends, people who guide me all along the way and show me the roadmap. So I find it myself now, I have that skills on me. So I start working with people who are in my circle, finding their talent, acknowledge their skills, and I started this platform where for direction 4 years ago. The platform was I started it as a passion of finding talent in other people, encouraging them, and to bring the best out of them. Is most of the time, as individuals, we need somebody just to highlight, somebody who see that skills on you, highlight you, direct you, and tell you what you have. And you can start with the limited resources that you have. It doesn't have to be something big. And then I start building this platform, and start having teams who are working. We are working together. Some people in the continent, who are a student, and we are trying to bring them to the international stage. So first, let me thank our partners and people who help us make this event successful today. So Cornerstone. This is a nonprofit under ECOSOC, under the United Nations, and they are one of the organizations that are organizing CSW. And this great organization is always opening opportunities for young girls, to attend the conference every year. And then Team 54 Project, African Youth Architecture, Bridge the Gap. Also, we have Hallmark International, Goat Hoop Center, Miss Mary Naketen, the Eye Care Foundation, and she's also a consultant. Ortect, E-Lawyer Nigeria, MCI Initiative. The topic of this summit says young African women feminist voices, Beijing regional certibrass. Beijing Declaration and Platform of Action for South, West, East, and Central Africa. And when we talk about Africa, we know that geographically and culturally and historically, we were all one people. We were in the same continent, but because of the demarcation of the border and the other political issues that make us divided, but we still have that soul of solidarity, and they are united to work as one people. So first, let me thank again everybody, all the ambassadors who make their time, and all the embassies, all the young people who support this initiative. And for the women, I really would like to appreciate every woman, starting by myself, because I was inspired with women. They are the best. They are the first one that saw the talent of me, support me. We'd like to appreciate all our women from Mali to Nigeria, from Sudan to Kenya, women who are now in the refugees camp. They are going through a lot: exploitation, domestic violence, and hardship of their livelihood. Women who are in different parts of the world who are struggling, they're fighting their hardship life, their system. They are surviving, they are making it, they are working in the market, they are traveling abroad to make a livelihood for their families. Yet women who are in the leadership position, who are working day by day to make a better life for other women, and also the young women who are working and overcoming the challenges that they have with the limited resources that they have, with the knowledge that they have, to commit themselves to serve their community of young women along the journey. So we are the Young African Coalition, Young African Voices is a platform that have members for women in the diaspora and in Africa. Our goals is to bring our combined voices together and work in a dialogue and encourage intergenerational dialogue also with our elder women, because we see them as mentors and as our examples and people who have knowledge and expertise, and they can work us along the way. And this is one of our goals. We have these two main objectives: to work in addressing our issues and find the resources that we have, to participate and be part of this building our community of women, African women abroad, and then open working in this intergenerational dialogue. So here's one thing: the issue we're working on is to change the scenario and the narrative of young women when it comes to leadership. I know we go through so much difficulties to prove ourselves as women, especially young person who is a leader. Because every time when I step to this leadership position, and a lot of us in this platform here go through that, they're questioning our skills to lead, our skills of knowledge, our ability. So we are changing that scenario, and also as we're changing the scenarios as women, we are changing the scenarios as an immigrant. We are bringing this new spirit and unity of leadership, starting by us. The Beijing Declaration Platform of Action. In 2025, the global community will celebrate the 30th anniversary of the fourth World Women Conference. Is the Beijing Declaration and the adaptation of the Beijing Declaration of Action that started in 1995. So, and this is the 69th also session of the Commission on the Status of Women that will take place at the UN headquarters in New York in March 21st, from the 10th to the 21st of March 2025. Some of our members here, as young women, will be participating in these sessions. And also some of us are organizing side events that we will be celebrating and highlighting women issues and girls. The main focus of the 69th session will be the review of the implementation of the Beijing Declaration and the Platform of Action, and also the outcome of the 23rd of the special session of the General Assembly. The review will include assessment of the current challenges that affect the Beijing Declaration and Platform of Action, and the achievement of the gender equality and empowerment of women, and their contribution in the full realization of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals. The Beijing Declaration represents the collective vision of young African women and the equitable and sustainable future for us. So that's why we call all the global and the stakeholders to join and create this shared future that we envision as young women. We are here to address these issues, knowing that our generation and the generation that will come will play a crucial role in the development of our continent. Through this summit, we aim to bring the recommendation that for working together for our government, ensuring the idea to represent in the multilateral system that where we are going to the United Nations. As young African women, we are a global change for development, and we are active participants. We are committed to shaping the future of the continent and the world, starting by us. I invite you all to participate actively in this summit, and also for you who have the access to attend the CSW, sharing your thoughts, your idea, and how we can make this event successful. So welcome to the summit. Let us shape our future. I'm not going to take it longer. I think as on our protocol, we are going to let Queen Mother start and open for us this platform of action. Queen Mother is a Goodwill Ambassador at the United Nations. Welcome, Queen Mother, to this.
Queen Mother is so pleased to be with you women and to be a part of how we empower the young woman to go on with the legacy. As you know, that Queen Mother now has been reaching the age of 83 years old and been around the UN as a humanitarian for the last 55 years. And in doing so, looking at the role of women is very crucial. And how do we move toward the plan of action? You are correct. It is the plan of action. The women cannot wait any longer. They cannot wait in the field, in the marketplace. They cannot wait in the hills and the valleys of Mother Africa any longer. Without the plan of action, the sustainable development goals that is set forward within the United Nations, as well as in the Commission of the Status of Women, we must also look at the leadership of Mother Africa leading us into Beijing, China in 1995. Yes, Queen Mother was there with our leader, Mama Gertrude Mangela, has been our leader from Tanzania. She also was the Undersecretary to the United Nations and also Assistant for Women of the UN Women. And with her engagement and with her leadership as an African woman, as an African mother, it is such an honor to be with you women of leadership. Queen Mother wants to hear from you and what guidance or advice you need from us as you go on in the spirit of many women who have been involved with this struggle of women. And women, like I mentioned to you, has picked up the rod or the rope or the veil for the development of women all over the planet Earth and has set that tone for us over the years and the benchmark in 1995 in Beijing, China. So Queen Mother will stop here and hear from you, your deliberation that is going to be very important for all of us. This coming Commission on the Status of Women 2025, which is around the corner. And Queen Mother is looking forward to seeing all of you at the United Nations. And I thank you for allowing Queen Mother to open this summit. And in the joy and the honor of Mama Gertrude Mangela, who led us into Beijing, China. Blessings upon all of you, Queen Mother.
Yes, ma'am. Wow. We're so blessed to have you. We're having a big brand. We're so blessed to hear from you, Mother. And yes, it's really great that you wanted to hear from us and then you tell what to respond back, right? And with that, I had a few questions, Mom, and I think I should pause them before we get to our ambassador because he's also having something to say. I had something like, for us, especially for you, Mom, you could be thinking about it since you've been in this sector for so long. It goes, how best do you think as young people we can use the Beijing Declaration as a strategic tool to address young Africa's most pressing challenges, from insecurity and health disparities to food security and human rights? So, Mom, as we move forward? That is the question when I heard that you're going to have Queen Mother. And after hearing about your profile, I felt like that is something I should post to you. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I didn't know if I should let you respond now or I should move forward as you prepare yourself for it.
I advise you to move on. Let's hear from all of the women across the continent of Mother Africa. What do we
All
have
right.
in common? And what do we have that may be different and we need to add to it? So we open the floor of the summit to hear from the other women leaders around the continent, Mother Africa.
Thank you, Queen Mother. With that, we're going to have Ambassador coming next with his remarks. As you know, he's an agenda, and Ambassador Emmanuel, is he online? We're
No,
supposed to have you. Oh, okay. So with that, I think we're going to have our next speaker. Let me get to the agenda and then read it for us so that we get to follow everything on time. Our next speaker is all right, Mariam. Do we have Mariam here, Miss Mariam?
yeah, but I
Queen
think
Mother.
what we were going to have Ambassador Didi Fall, the founder of 1000 Shades Women. She's a global ambassador and she's the founder of this amazing platform, and she's doing wonderful work for women, for young women in the continent and also here, supporting women education and health. And she have done an amazing transformation work in different countries. Welcome, Ambassador Didi. The floor is yours, please.
Hello?
Yes. Hello, we can hear you.
Okay. Honorary leaders, distinguished guests, and fellow advocates, good morning. Today, as we revisit the vision of the Beijing Declaration of Platform for Action, we are reminded of its unyielding core to achieve gender equality and empower women, girls in every corner of the world. For Africa, South, West, East, and Central, this vision is both a challenge and an opportunity. Across our region, African women embody resilience, from the bustling market of Lagos to the savannah of the Serengeti, from the villages of Kinshasa to the vibrant city of Johannesburg. Women are the backbone to our economies, the heart of our families, and the architect of our future. Yet, systemic barrier, cultural norm, and inequality continue to rob them of the full potential. The Beijing Declaration compels us to act. We must close the gap in education and healthcare, eradicate violence against women, and ensure that women have equal access to leadership, justice, and economic opportunity. These are not just women issues, they are human issues and central to the prosperity of our nation. Africa's strengths lie in our adversity. Let us unite our voice and resources to amplify the Beijing agenda. By empowering women, we empower families, community, and economies. And we was lucky today to have Queen Mother because we believe also that today footprint is tomorrow legacy, and we're going by her legacy. By ensuring gender equality, we unlock the future of Africa itself. Let us not be bound by promises, but driven by measurable progress. The time for action is now. For every girl denied an education, for every woman excluded from leadership, for every voice silenced by injustice. Together, let us fulfill the promise of Beijing for all African women. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Ambassador Didi. I
Thank you
loved your
so much.
presentation. Yeah, and the way it has stated, every time I hear about something like education, educating a young child, women on the continent, I get goosebumps because I believe that is the only way to go, right? And also the inclusion of women in leadership, right? It is so amazing. So really, this is the right time for us to stand together as young women and using of course the likes of Queen Mother who have already built the legacy, to mentor us and give us the skills they have used to do all they have done for the women out there. Thank you very much for your presentation, and we're looking forward to the questions that will come up later on for you. With that, we are supposed to have Dr. Delis Blakely. I don't know if I pronounced the name right. Mary, help me confirm if the doctor is on the call before we get to the next speaker.
We are going to have Dr. Daniel.
Okay.
Dr. Daniel Buje from Nigeria. He's the founder of Team 54 Project. And Dr. Daniel is one of the men, like he supports young women and he mentors young women. He opened opportunities for a lot of young African women when it comes to leadership position in this country. And he's my mentor, and I'm one of the people that he mentor. Among us, there is thousands of people who are in this call. Welcome, Dr. Daniel. The floor is yours.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, our leader. It's good to see Queen Mother. All protocols duly respected. It's also good to see many Africans that are coming from West Africa. I can see David. I can see some Cameroonian, and I welcome you all. So it's important that every one of us work together to ensure that we achieve the vision of the Beijing. Now, I know that this will be recorded. I hope it's recorded and is also streamed on social media. Why I say this is because women are essential to us advancing 100% as human race. Half the population of the world, nearly half, are women. You cannot have 100% Earth without that half of the population. So the best way that I think we can help the women child is to bring them closer to that table where those decisions that affect their lives matter. Give them more autonomy to be able to determine how much of their health-related challenges that they want us to join to help them. Let them be the driving force that articulates the views that women bring on board. And I also want to encourage our women to also have more open heart as they've always had. Women have always been the caregiver. They've always been the caretaker. They've always been the physician, the doctor, the accountant, the bricklayer. They almost always do so many roles, and it's just one head. So sometimes it can appear very overwhelming. But the truth of the matter is that has allowed our women to be more smarter, more innovative, and then more enduring over the years. With the process of child labor, it still doesn't knock her off. She'll still go to work. I have never experienced child labor before. I don't know whether I'll go to work 3 months afterwards or 6 months afterwards. So that said, is to tell you how important women is. Now, the Beijing Declaration was just to bring everybody to the realization that we are not moving forward as a human race without the girl child. And any plan to alienate women from the process of us advancing as earthlings or as human beings on earth will fail. If you recall, all the wars that have been started in the world never was started by a woman. If you recall, all the economic downturn that we see now have always been men driving the seat. Now, there's a wise saying that Queen Mother always say, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. You know already that the outcome will not change. It's called insanity. So we are having some level of democratic insanity, in quotes, where we keep electing the same breeds of people without interjecting. We keep electing the same mentality of people who come with party-oriented ideology to supersede an entire nation with diverse view. So I'll end on this note. Just like our leader, Mary Apollo, has said, that the story that will be written about me and you, about Queen Mother, is a story that has to start now. That for every girl child, start thinking out of the box. Do not wait to be told to think, or else other people will think for you. Start thinking out of the box. Make yourself available for elective position. Band together as women and do block votes. Ensure that when another woman is having some issue, everybody support, ask for justice and fairness. When our leaders are demanding, what do you want? Be truthful and honest. I feel that if we further continue to work together as we collaborate together, further continue to guide by the wisdom of the older ones that have come behind us. What I mean is, if our girl child now or our young ladies now have this intergenerational dialogue with the more older people, I feel that we will be able to begin the process of moving the inch. I will not tell you that it will be done in one day, but that we are not doing anything at all is meaning that the inevitability of destruction is very near. On that note, I want to thank every woman who is here, every girl child who is here, and every man who is supporting. Now, too often, people don't understand the function of a woman. A woman in itself is not defined by the biological makeup. Let me explain so that people understand. A woman is that human being who is born to breed, to nurture, to ensure there is a wonderful companion, a leader par excellence, who is more matured to harness all the potentials of offsprings that comes from her, or friends that are related to her, or relatives that are linked to her. Such a person is defined as a woman. Now, a man, on the other hand, is a special human being who by nature is given a responsibility to ensure that whoever else does not fit into that jacket, becomes a better version of themselves. So you see, a man, a woman. A woman has a man in it. So it's a complementary thing. You understand? We complement ourselves like this. That's how our African ancestry has always wanted it to be. But when the Western world or some very uninformed people begins to dilute, you understand, our cultural values, we begin to have all these crises. And again, when some of us too, our elders and our ancestors, stray away and become selfish themselves, it gives room for some of the chaos and the anarchy we are having. At no time did our ancestors want us to beat our women. Never. It is never written anywhere. Somebody should show you where it was written 3,700 years ago that what we want is beating of women. No. At no time did our ancestors say women should never be heard. Never. As long as there are no evidence like that, it doesn't say. What we know exists in the African context is a community. What is a community? Many people of different background, of different interests, with a common vision to bring about prosperity for all. And that's the premise upon Beijing. So women are the championing species that we have on earth. who have the ability to nurture naturally, who have the ability to breed naturally, who have the intelligence to take up multiple roles with one head, who do not understand what egocentric mentality is, who want to always be included. So I think if we come from that narrative and we genuinely speak in love and compassion, I feel that this will be one way we can get inroad, to our male folks. As for me, I will always support a woman's vision. My organization is run solely by women, 89%, from my executive director from Bangladesh to all our coordinators. All my mentors are women. Hi, Chief Joycey Adewumi, 2017.
Stage. Just flip this switch and you see. Oh, she's right here.
Doctor Mary, could you please try to unmute Doctor?
Dr. Daniel.
Oh, we're missing such good information.
Let me-
Dr. Daniel, we can't hear you. Have mute yourself.
Oh, sorry. In conclusion, like I said, sorry, I said some other things, so like I said, I also hold another capacity here. I'm also the US focal coordinator for young people in diaspora under the Office of the African Union Youth Envoy. Our leader, Mary, was part of a summit that we just concluded over the weekend, and some resolutions have also been released. One of the resolutions is the fact that the girl child must now begin to take her destiny in her hands, not only because of her, but because of other girl child who are not currently in the capacity to help themselves. So every girl child here, every woman, every elderly person is a champion for many dreams to come. Thank you, Mary, for giving me this honor. I want to thank all the partners that are working with Four Direction. I want to thank Her Excellency Queen Mother, Miss Blackie. Thank you for always standing strong for us. You are a pinnacle and a living statue. I've never seen any person that is a living statue in my life except you. And you've always spoke truth to power, whether they like it or not, whether in Nigeria, whether in Ghana, you've always spoke truth to power. And these have inspired people like Mary who look up to you. God will continue to give you the strength. God will continue to give you the prosperity. Our ancestors will direct your footpath. Everything you want in life will be provided for you. Your children will give you blessings. People will call you virtuous. And every positive thing in life will follow you and your lineage, including everyone here. Thank you and happy holidays.
Wow, so amazing. Thank you very much, Dr. Daniel. Since Queen Mother is our mentor and we're looking forward to path, like we're taking on her footsteps, we believe the prayer that you've just sent to her, is going to also tap on us in one or the other. So thank you very much for that prayer rather. So I just to highlight the things that I got from you, like I loved when you talked about women being innovative. You're calling out the women on the continent to be innovating, right? To be the driving force. That is something that I feel like all the women that are here, those who are listening online, all going to listen later, they should consider that, because I think that is the thing that we're looking for as young people. We're looking for an innovative generation of young women. And I love the fact that you're a man on the platform that we have so far who has spoken, and that is really amazing. So that will make me pause to your question. Like of course there are very many other men that are supporting, but why like you like having this other kind of mindset like the men that we seeing out there that are not supportive of the women vision, that are just afraid, of them taking over, because maybe because other men know how powerful women are. Like when a woman steps up, like shake, you can see Queen Mother, the impact she has had on the continent and all the other women out there, right? So I really, really want you to get deeper later on why are you really supporting a girl child? What's the vision? What is the drive? That there is this other thing that you talked about, and I loved it. I think you related to what Mary said, the story. I mean, if there are stories that are going to be written about us or us, we should start right now, right? So, and you emphasized what Mary said, that time is now for us to come out as young women or as young people on the continent to do something, right? To do something that is going to change the continent or to bring about development. And you hinted on something that I loved. You asked the young women out there to explore opportunities. So to all young women on this platform, all the young women that are going to listen later, I beg you to take this serious. Explore the opportunities that are in front of you. Don't be afraid of the cultures. Don't be afraid of anything, right? Take up, learn on the way. I believe no one started right? Everyone was learning on the way. So that's the way to go. And the other thing, lastly, that I loved, I think this one corrects the African culture that has been misunderstood. That there is not anywhere in history, or you've not had it anywhere or recorded it anywhere, that our ancestors believed in violence, right? They really condemned it and they believed in our community. So that is something that we should also be telling the cultural leaders that we have today who are trying to violate the women's rights. So thank you very much for your presentation. It was really amazing. I loved it. I took those points personal as a young leader in Uganda. Thank you very much. So right about now, we're going to have another speaker, right? And as Queen Mother said, she's listening from us. So next on our agenda, we're going to have a plenary session, right? And our first speaker is Mariam. She's going to be speaking on, utilizing Beijing Declaration on Beijing Declaration and platform of action to advance our continent. I mean, she's going to basically speak about technology, the development goals, and addressing the global issues as a young leader or a young female leader on the continent. So, Mariam, if you don't mind, could you please unmute yourself and tell us who you are, like everything, and then you tell us about what you have for us today as we prepare for this 2025 Beijing Declaration Summit. Thank you. Mariam, are you still in the call? We can't wait to hear from you.
Yes, hi,
Yes.
everyone. Good
Hi.
morning, everyone. And it's an honor for me to be here today among
Is
such
it
passionate
possible to have your camera on, please?
Excuse me?
Would it be possible to have your camera on, to turn your camera on, please?
Yeah, sure. Just a minute.
That's wonderful, because we want to see your wonderful, the beautiful personality. Miriam from Chad, she work in the health sector. She mobilize a lot of young women, and she work raising awareness in health sector in the continent. Welcome, Miriam.
Thank you so much. Like I said, it's an honor for me to be here today among such passionate and advocates for change, especially Queen Mother. I think we have met last year during the CSW, and I'm looking forward to meet you this year as well. My name is Mariam, like Mary said. My name is Mariam Idris Adam, and I'm a founder and the president of a youth association called Better Life Youth Association, and it's known as BLIA for short. So it's an association committed to empowering youth, African youth, and fostering equitable opportunities for all. Our mission is rooted in the belief that empowers young people, especially young women and girls, because they are pivotal to change to achieving a sustainable development in Africa. We work tirelessly to create programs that bridge gaps in education, enhance economic inclusion, and as well as challenges societal norms that perpetuates inequality. As a woman and a leader myself, I have seen firsthand the systemic challenges African women and girls face, such as cultural norms, early child marriage, and so on. These range from limited access to equality to equality education and healthcare to deeply entrenched societal barriers. My work with Blaya stems from a personal commitment to dismantle these obstacles and create a future where every young woman and girl can thrive. So we focus. I'd like to focus more on social justices because it's more than an ideal; it's a necessity. Ensuring the protections of rights and access to opportunities for African young women and the vulnerable population is essential to building a just society. This requires us, education for empowerment because it provides tools for young women and girls to unlock their full potential. It also requires economical independence for supporting financial literacy and entrepreneurship in Africa. This is what we need to support those young women. And also requires legal and social safeguards that strengthen policies and the practices that protect women from violence, exploitation, and discrimination in most African countries. So I would like to call, let's us come together. As we gather at this summit today, let us recognize that real change requires, a collective effort. One person is not enough to make a change. So all the governments, NGOs, community leaders like you guys all, and all individuals must have, they have role to play in advancing equality. So together we can drive reforms that prioritize dignity, security, and opportunities for all African women and the vulnerable groups. So it's a privilege for me to be here today with you on this summit, not just as a leader but also a partner in this shared mission. Let's work together to shape a future where every African woman and a girl can live a life of empowerment and a purpose. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Miss Mariam or Mariam. I think when I'm in the setting of girls, I don't like giving them the title of Miss or Madam because I feel like, we're girls, right? However, although, young we may be. So thank you very much, Mariam. And I love the 2 points we hinted on that are really, really, that have been disturbing, the African continent on the female side, right? That is cultural norms and also the early child marriage. And what are the solutions that you have as you, a young female leader on the continent, to combat such the challenges that we've had in the past that we're trying to reduce? What are those challenges that we should expect from you as a female leader? I'm posing that question to you. Probably you prepare yourself, then later on we can get back to you as we move forward, because I think Queen Mother needs to hear from us the solutions that we have as young women, right? What are we tabling out, and what are those new things she needs to spice, right? As a leader who has been there, what we doing new? So I think you could be revising or thinking about the solution that we have as, or we could be having as a young leader on the continent. Thank you very much. With that, next on our agenda, right? We're supposed to have a speaker, right? We're supposed to have speaker Adele, right? Adele Pads. I don't know if she's on the call. Mary, you could help me before we do introduce Dr. Minata. Is Adele Pads on the call?
She was here earlier, but I think she dropped off difficulties of technical issues. She was here earlier, and she's from Uganda.
Oh.
Yeah, she even posted, yeah, please.
All right. We're
You
going
can
to
move on then later on if rejoin, then we give her an opportunity, please.
Yes. So with that, I think we could have Dr. Minata, right, get on the call, help us introduce herself to us and to the Queen Mother who is here today with us. And we get to hear about the mental health state of the young African women on the continent and how is it an issue and what are the solutions we have that we should, implement to push the young women forward. Mental health expert on the continent. Thank you. Dr. Aminata? She's on the call, Mary.
She's in a call. Dr. Aminata, are you on? I think if Dr. Aminata is not ready yet. So
Yes. All right.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry, I've lost my voice. I am down with pneumonia. So please pardon me.
No worry at all.
So
Yes,
sorry,
good morning,
doctor.
everyone. Good morning, Queen Mother. Good morning, everyone. I'll protocol observe. My name's Dr. Aminata Bashtaki. I'm originally from Sierra Leone, West Africa, of course. And I am truly honored and privileged to be here. Thank you to my sister Mary Apollo for inviting me. My video, yes, please, 1 second. Where's the light? 1 second. Okay. Can you all see me, please? Wonderful.
See
Yes,
your
we
beautiful
can.
voice.
Hi.
Yeah, your beautiful smile.
Thank you. So again, my name's Aminata. I'm originally from Sierra Leone, and I am honored to be here. Thank you to my sister Mary for the invitation. So I live here in Maryland, but obviously I have strong ties and roots to Africa and the continent, as I'm very passionate in terms of in the field of mental health. All right, I have my doctorate in clinical psychology, and so I am passionate about the mental health for the African girl child and African women, right, in general. I currently work within a hospital facility where I provide psychological and neuropsychological evaluations with children and primarily children from underprivileged communities in the greater Baltimore area. And the question, again, sorry, Mary, in terms of how we can, is it build upon the mental health infrastructure in Africa? Please, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, so I think one of the first areas is in terms of increasing awareness, right? And I think in the last few years, we've had greater awareness in terms of the importance of Africans, both on the continent and here in the diaspora, seeking professional mental health services. And of course, there are different factors that will influence that, right? Including our access to these professional services, the cost, as well as we know, therapy is not the cheapest of resources, but it should be available to all. But yet the cost is not as effective, especially for individuals from, immigrants and refugee population groups, even here in the diaspora. But then also in addition to increasing, the awareness and knowledge, but also both Africans, especially the girl, child, and women here in the diaspora, having access to more culturally competent, right, mental health services, and then reducing the stigma through, again, the education, psychoeducational services that we can provide, and then also promoting more community-based support systems, all right? And so I'm part of this organization here. I think the founder, she's Kenyan, if I'm correct. It's called Africans for Mental Health. And she's done a great job in terms of gathering African professionals in the mental health field and coming together to provide seminars, community-based groups, and especially in focusing with the child, the women, and the families, right? And so just also providing more culturally competent and diverse mental health professionals who are able to provide these services to the girl child and women, African women here in the diaspora, and then also connecting on the continent with various networks and associations that they do have. And I know in the country I come from, Sierra Leone, it's very limited, right? Even as I was completing my dissertation, the literature that's available, it's like zero to none, if anything. So, in addition to, of course, the training, the awareness, and all of that, more research, right? More culturally competent research in terms of how to treat the African girl child, African women, with more, I guess, orientations and methods and measures that are applicable, non-Western, in a sense, to that group, to the African child and the African women population groups. And I think in doing so, then we'll be able to address, systematic issues that also affect, the African girl child and African women. It is only, I always say this, only when I came to America that I realized that I was Black, right? And what I mean by that is saying that when you're in Africa, right, we're all one. I don't think, yes, we may have issues of colorism, but racism may not primarily be our issue. We have poverty to fight. We have health infrastructures, to build. And when you come here, it's like we're all categorized, whether you're, Black American or African, we're all Black, right? And so having to also face those sort of systemic issues will contribute, right, in terms of the mental disparities that are faced by both the African girl child and African women here in the diaspora, especially. And so I don't know, I'm excited. There are things I'm working on in terms of bringing together a group of professional mental health. A group of professional mental health providers from all parts, West Africa, South and East, in terms of bringing or building up a larger sort of like African mental health network, and also more specifically for one here in the diaspora. So again, thank you for this opportunity. And I'm looking forward to what we can do together, because mental health, not just, it's not just something that we see here in the West, but it's also something that needs greater work in terms of the African and across different African groups here in the diaspora and especially in the continent. Thank you.
Mary Kasaki Doreen is here. She's from Uganda. She's a wonderful and amazing girl advocate. Yeah, and she's doing a lot of work with Ugandan young women in education, educating them their right. Mary, I think now the floor is yours. Doreen, we are going to hear from you about the challenges that young women face when it comes to especially a lot of the customary law and tradition and inheriting issues. Welcome, Doreen.
Well, thank you. Hello, good evening. I'm from Uganda, and
you have your camera on, please? Or
hey, all right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Great.
Right. It's nice to be here, and good evening from Uganda. My name is Doreen Sate. I'm a teacher by profession. I teach math and chemistry in a secondary school, but I also work with FIDA Uganda as a community paralegal, and also as a women's rights activist. And thank you, Mary, for the question. Indeed, young women and girls face a lot of problems. There are a lot of issues stemming down from their cultures, as they are growing up, they face so many things. And first, talking about culture, this limits their potential to even come up and engage in different fields, like in politics, in leadership, because society has put it that a girl or women cannot lead. So these are some of the inhibitors that they face while growing up. So indeed, having spaces like these ones and empowering young people to come up is very key. The other issue that young women are facing, apparently, say in Uganda, there is shrinking civic space. So however much we're calling in for young women to come up and take leadership positions, young women in democracy, the civic space still is shrinking. So this and a lot makes them fear to come up and engage in politics and engage in democracy of their country. Then the other issue I see on ground is that young women lack, they lack this knowledge and awareness about their rights. That's why with the organization that I currently work with, FIDA Uganda, that has taken on 50 years in advocating for women's rights, we go to schools and try to teach these young people about their rights, because I feel that it's very, very important. Yeah, thank you very much, Mary, for giving me a chance to to talk to you. Thank
Oh,
you.
no worry. I think when it comes to culture and norms, it's one of the main issues that hold women back from their creativity, from holding the leadership position we're talking about. Also cultural issues that leave us behind in many ways, and that is affects our leadership quality. So I'm going to give the floor to one of our sisters here, Sister Njema from Nigeria. She's going to give her contribution, and then we move on with our session for the day. So
hello, good evening, everyone. It's evening here.
Hi,
Good
Njema,
morning,
the wonderful
everyone,
speaking.
and good evening also. Yeah, hi. Thank you so much, Mary, once again for putting up this up. And please, it's a little bit dark over here, so I can't really use my camera, so I'll just talk. Briefly, so first off, Mary, thank you so much. You are doing a great job. Thank you so much for carrying this vision with so much passion. Okay, so thank you so much. I admire you and every work you're doing. Thank you so much. And to everyone here, thank you so much. And standing on the already existing protocol, my name is Ijoma Precious. I'm from Nigeria, and I'm just an activist for basically SDG 3, 4, and 5, and in the way that it mostly relates to women. Okay, so what I would say is that over the years since I was born, and since I've been able to listen to news and all that, so they've every government, every level, they've always made rules and made laws and policies that affect and that is supposed to actually protects women. They've been in the business of making these policies ever since I was a child. I hear about women advocacy, this and that and that. So, but what I really want to say to everyone on here is that after we are done from this place, for us to actually go down to the people, to where it actually matters, to the people at the grassroots, to actually go down to girls at the grassroots level. Like for me, I am really passionate about girls in my um in my in my community where I am from. Sometimes these things, they are mostly theoretical. They don't even really know what we are talking about, okay, until you go down to grassroots and you see girls, young girls who they don't have any vision, direction, they can't access education, they can't access healthcare, they can't access nothing. So all I'm trying to say is while we are on here and we have these opportunities to be on these platforms with this so much awareness that we have, for us to go down to where it really matters, down to the grassroots, down to our immediate communities, because that is where these girls that are actually marginalized, that is where they are. That is where we can find them. Yes, there are some of them in cities, actually, but when you take your time and probably travel to your local communities, that is where you actually see these things. Because sometimes I actually used to think that who doesn't have access to a menstrual care package, until I actually took my time and went down and I saw that there are actually girls who do not have access to menstrual care package. They don't even know that, oh, they are supposed to do this for themselves during this period of time. Talk about schooling, talk about um health, education, talk about vision, talk about the ability to know that this is not where it all ends, that they can actually go out and be more, and they can actually be anything they want to be. So I think they do not have enough model at the grassroots. They are not seeing people who are actually who have risen from these places. So somehow they think it is not actually possible for them to be this thing. So if there are real models that have risen from the grassroots, and and they are there to actually project to them that these things are possible. So I think this whole the whole policies, the whole thing we are fighting for women's rights, I think it will be very, very, very achievable if we can really go down to people it matters to, people who really need it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gemma. She's from Nigeria. She's one of the active women in every group. She was one of the people who were with us when the Voices Summit, when we did it during the UN General Assembly and we submitted the declaration. So she was the one of the participants. And she is sure in the importance of working under the ground. And we have many of our members here who are trying to work under the ground and also find more people and inspire more people. And today, this is a call. Also, we take it as a call to action, to empower, to motivate those who have the passion, to encourage them to start today. So this is also the goal of this conference. So, and I think I'm going to take it to another wonderful young women we have here in the platform. She works in education. Blessing Amadu, she's an educator and a passionate advocate she's the founder of MCI. She advocates in early marriage in Nigeria and also representing the voice of teachers. She has a wonderful resume and she has done a lot of amazing work. So I'm just going to give her the floor to talk to us about the challenges when it comes to education that young African woman faces, and what are the solution and the recommendation for that. And we will also encourage you to share this summit overview with your networking, with your platform. We need more interaction. We need more voices from young women, especially, and our elder people. And we have the draft of the declarations that we have submitted the first to the committee of the UN and UN Women, which under the generational equality is one of the people's, like, we have them on our flyers. They approve our activities for the summit. So we encourage you to share the platform and also put the comments in the recommendation if you would like to. And going to give the floor to Njema. Don't want to make it longer. Welcome, Njema. Welcome, Sister Blessing Ahmadu.
Hi. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depends part of the world that you're from. My name is Blessing Amoju. I am Nigerian, and I'm so super excited to also meet some Nigerians here, but I'm currently in the United States and I'm pursuing a master's in curriculum and instruction. I originally had my undergraduate in early childhood education. So I am an educator. That's the long and short the story. And I work in the social development space, mostly in SDJ4, but all protocols really observed. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to Queen Mother, especially, and thank you for being here with us and sharing insight with us. So on this particular conversation, when it regards to education, I'm going to the personal angle and the personal perspective and why this is very important. For me, I am from a very small village in the north central part of Nigeria. For those who are Nigerians here would know Kogi State. I come from Kogi State, and it's kind of it where the poverty level is, a bit high, right? And I had to go to primary school in that location before moving to the federal capital city in Abuja to get proper education. That's because my parents had the liberty to move, right? However, I had both experiences on two words, and going through the Beijing Declaration, it is more like the acknowledgement of the need for women empowerment, on the need to give girls access, on the need to give women access. And I see access starting from education, first of all. I look back and my community still has not developed so much. I look back and a lot of girls still have to go through teenage pregnancies. A lot of girls still have to struggle to pursue their degree. If you come to my community today, the most prevalent thing is, you grow up to a certain age, you get your WAEC done, that's what we call the exam, your SST, like high school, and the next thing is not to look forward to a career. It's more like, who's going to remind me of what am I going to do next? But there's so much to, and that's why when my advocacy focuses on rural development, it is very practical. Education, conversations on women empowerment, conversations on youth empowerment has to start from the grassroots level, because we can be high up, but how do we pass the message? How do I teach a young girl about Beijing Declaration if I do not know how to take it into what she would understand? Hence the need for education. We all need to be on board with teachers, with educators who have this interest in women and girls empowerment, so we're able to channel our energy to making these seemingly big words, large sentences, into simple things that a girl can understand. For instance, we talk about menstrual hygiene. That's relating to health, right? There's a lot of things, medical access for women, even reducing mortality rates. If being able to explain all things in terms that is relatable for these women is where the education comes. For my organization in MCI initiative, we focus on teachers development and also early childhood development. And why did we choose to focus on that? Number one is early childhood development. We need places where our children, our toddlers, our babies can stay during the day so women can go back to work. There has been, in terms of the research has shown that women who have places cater for their children and return back to work increases economy, right? It boosts our economical achievement. It increases the input and also the output of the workforce. So if we don't pay attention to some of these sectors, the Beijing Declaration may not necessarily make so much or get so much influence and impact as it should. So all of these factors need to come in place, and that's why it's important that education is also part of these conversations. So we are interpreting, we are building the structure, we are calling relevant stakeholders, and also that the money is allocated to education is being used for the right things. It's not about the conversation alone. So when we focus on education, it is not just for providing classrooms or doing that, which are amazing, but also it is to also educate women in underserved communities who also need to begin to take action. It is not a wrong thing for a woman who probably is raised in a village like myself to say, this farmland, I want to go into agriculture. I own this farm and I want to produce things. I'm from a lineage of female farmers. My grandmother still owns one of the largest farms in my community today. And I know how much resources goes into the farm and how much she gets. there is no husband because yeah, but she's handling so much, and I see the power that she holds. My auntie is taking in that footstep and is bringing so much out of her family. So it is not a crime for a woman to be able to own things like that in their own sphere and say, this is what belongs to me. This is what I have to control. And trust me, when things are handed to women, have the multiplier effect. It is just ingrained in them. We're people who naturally multitask. We have that in us. And it starts with educating them. But they may not have access to the formal education that is available, but they can have access to us who, go into communities and have interactions with them. They can have access to all of this education if we take on the responsibility to begin to talk about things like the Beijing declarations in ways that they understand. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful, Sister Blessing. Thank you so much. I like your spirit and the person who always have passion to talk and take action about things. And I think we combine your voice with the other women, we can do a lot with the motivations, the skills, the knowledge, the limited resources that we have, because we have to remind ourselves that one of our mission in the coalition is to start acting with what we have, with our skills, and come back together and join our voices. I'm going to take it to the next person. So we have Sister Christine Nabari. She's here. Would you be able to join? Christine is one of the powerful women. She has her own business platform where she teach Black people and African community about business and entrepreneur. She empowered them economically, and she also hire young women into business. She have a good model where she teach people about leadership skills, entrepreneur, and other opportunities. And she was also in beauty pageant where she raised awareness about a lot of issues. So Christine, the floor is yours, please. Tell us more about the challenges that young African women face when it comes to entrepreneur businesses and representing their culture, and how they can overcome these challenges, since you have that rich background of experience.
I'm sorry, can I get a quick moment? I'm gonna try to get somewhere where I'm quiet.
Okay, no worry at
I'm like
all.
on the move as well. I'm trying to have trying to be in here. Can you give me about 5 minutes?
Okay, no worries. So then I think we can move to John, the next person. John, he can tell us a little bit about his work. He has some projects that he's doing in the continent with young women, and he started this initiative of education. John, the floor is yours. Please share with us.
Hi, can you hear me?
Okay. He can hear you. One of the people I met at the World Bank last year. Wonderful. Welcome, John.
Yes, thank you so much, Mary, for inviting me to say a few words. We met at the World Bank Fragility Conference last year. I am so humbled to participate in this vital conversation with women leaders, women speakers, women innovators, and mothers. My mother was my first hero, my first role model. But my mother faced many challenges in life. So I want to do my small part to help open doors for women today. I founded an economic opportunity program for disadvantaged teenagers in California with a special focus on girls. Our goal is to create pathways to success which don't require a college degree. Our method is to plant seeds for success by teaching our apprentices electrical engineering and product development. The core of our program is that our teenagers will build and sell a Bluetooth speaker. The project is inspired by traditional home-based manufacturing rather than Western-style factories. I would love to bring this project to teenagers in Africa. Please contact me if you'd like to collaborate. I'm at, you can find me on theboom.org or contact me through the chat here. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you so much, John. Sure, we will be finding a way of networking and reach out to you. And also like to acknowledge the project that you have already started doing in Africa currently with some of the team. So saying we have our next person, David. David is here, Otibi David from Nigeria. David is one of the young people who always encourage and always ready to support young women when it comes to any initiative that we start, any work that we have done. David, we want to hear from you because you have been in the call for a while. The strategy of how we can do to involve men and women when it comes to women empowerment, and also some of the challenges that we currently have in the continent when it comes to women leadership. The floor is yours, King David.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening, Okaro.
Okay, let me put on my camera. Good evening, Mary, from this side of Africa. Good evening, Queen Mother, and all protocol duly observed. I really want to thank Mary for this opportunity to be on this call. Actually listening to previous speakers and the insights to the discussion we already have. And coming from Nigeria, presently I'm in Lagos, Nigeria. I will really want to start like this, that the future is women. The future of the world, the future, what we are looking at is the more we give women the opportunity, we actually are empowering more lives. And when it comes to leadership, checking through what is happening in the continent Africa, we are beginning to see a lot of young people being given that opportunity to help other young people, especially women. And especially in the place where I'm volunteering right now, I'm volunteering for Allmark International Youth Club. And Dr. Daniel that spoke earlier is one of our mentors. And he has used his opportunity and the place that he has been placed to support a lot of young women to get their voices heard, get them into the places where their voices can, or their dreams can also be appreciated. And when it comes to leadership, we believe that women or girl child being given opportunity for their dreams to be heard, for their voices to be heard, we are trusting that a lot of development will come to Africa. Also, another thing that we are facing as a challenge is that of technology. That is really on the plate when it comes to Africa. A lot of women must be given that opportunity to get trained when it comes to understanding and the use of technology. That will foster development. That will also foster empowerment, especially to young women. And I believe that with everyone on this call, I'm a great supporter of young women. I'm a supporter, I have 4 sisters, and having seen them grow up, training them, and then letting them have the opportunity to get their voices heard. I've seen them grow from one stage to another, and at the same time, they are making impact wherever they find. That's why everywhere I go, I always support the vision of any woman because I know that the future is women. And if you empower a woman or a girl child, you are empowering a community. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mary. Thank you, everyone.
David. Thank you for representing Hallmark International. And Hallmark is one of the partner who work in collaboration with us to make this event happen. We're taking out our recommendation. I'm going to take it to the next speaker. Christine, if you are ready now, we can give you the floor. If next, then we move on to the next speaker. I have my sister here from Kenya, Joreen Wanini. Joreen is a farmer. She's an entrepreneur. She have the amazing projects because we don't want to make it longer. Also, we plan. Queen Mother is here. She want to give us her recommendations, and we also have the breakout sessions where we will finalize our recommendations, and each session is different. And we have the draft of the declarations that we have already prepared. So I'm going to make it very close. Queen Mother, do you want us to finish the next two speakers and then we give you the floor, or you want to make your intervention because we took off from your time? We are so sorry. But the
Yes,
conversation is going very well.
yes, let's finish the other two speakers.
Okay, great. So Christine now is ready. Christine, the floor is yours. And I want you to really to tell you, I think if you would tell us briefly about Okay, great. Christine.
Okay. So peace and blessings, everyone. Thank you, Queen Mother, for your presence. Sister Mary invited me on here short notice. Other than I was so grateful to actually
We can hear you well, and we don't see your. Do you have an opportunity to have your camera on?
Or give me one moment. Let me see if I can.
Okay. Now, yeah, now you are more clear. Your voice is more clear.
Okay, I had to take off these glasses. Technology, okay? On these smart glasses. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can turn this camera on as well. All right, I had to come to the car. Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity to even speak. Yeah, just to go into what I actually do, I am USOA, means the United States of America's Mrs. Baltimore, running for Mrs. Maryland 2025 with the Pacific pageant. I went into pageantry for the simple factor to platform everything that I do because usually people are, when they see pageants, they automatically think just overwhelming, stunning beauty. They don't, it really doesn't get into all of the different things that people actually do that are behind, like the story behind the women, basically. So I did that to actually platform everything that I do, to show other women that you don't have to be flawless to be a part of a pageant and different things like that. But to go into a little bit of the things that I do, I have BEN TV, which is Black Excellence Network TV. I as well am a curator for TEDx Reisterstown. And I as well just do things and again, like technology and then entrepreneurships and different things like that. And the purpose of that was for visibility and for representation, to highlight stories, successes, impact of women in entrepreneurship. Again, just to platform people, because there's so many people out here that's doing amazing, brilliant things, but they don't have the platform, or they have to go through a whole lot of different things on the back end. Because I've went through that myself. I went through a lot of different things in business from me. Just went through a lot of different things in business. I was like, okay, all right, I want to actually create different platforms to actually put in place for women, men, but again, mainly women, because I am a woman, so they can actually have an opportunity to not go through so many different things in business and everything, and again, they can actually get to platform everything that they're doing is brilliant. So yeah, I created both of all of those different things for that purpose, basically. So I'm looking to connect with more people that that are speakers, again, that has a story, that are doing things that are phenomenal. So I can, again, put them on stages. We created the TV network because there's so much ignorance that's actually on TV. We are on national TV. It's, again, like I said, so much ignorance on TV. We did that so we can actually have things that are positive for the people, for the children, when it comes down to education, when it comes down to breaking new, public figures, different things like that. Put it back on the TV for our children, for our families. Family is important. Okay. So yes, there's so much more, but yes, that's all I have for right now. But I'm so grateful to be on here with so many powerful people that are on here right now. And I thank you for listening, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you. Wonderful. We are looking more into work with you when it comes to women on that. So, Joreen, I think I'm going to give Joreen, you have 5 minutes to talk to us about the challenges that face women in agriculture and entrepreneur. Joreen is a farmer. She have a big farm law in Kenya and neighborhood country where she bring women into agriculture, educate them and teach them about sustainability and agriculture. And what is the solution for that? So the floor is yours. She also had a brand in the market now that's available in Africa and in the US market. During you have 5 minutes, and then we're going to give the chance to Queen Mother. After that, we're going to our breakout sessions. Also would like to thank, we get this OCOWAS, one of the platforms, West African Economic Forum, for encouraging us to do this event. We have the copy of the draft and the declaration in English now, but it's going to be available also in French and in other languages. It's most of the West regions who don't have access to English. It's going to be translated and available. Doreen, you are welcome.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here. Good morning. And my name is Joreen. I have profits organization, because mine is actually a business. It came from a hobby to a business. So I'm a beekeeper. I have more than 400 beehives back home in Kenya. And what I do is I help women and youth in the marginalized communities so that they can be able to get into agriculture, specifically beekeeping, because that's what I've specialized in. And the challenges that they face is access to land, and how we have been able to combat that is by talking with the local chiefs, local area chiefs, and the local county governments, both in Kenya and Tanzania, to be able to have them access the natural forests that are in the country so that they can be able to do beekeeping. With that, we also do training and empowerment programs for them, where we train them on sustainable, beekeeping, sustainable farming. And also we've rolled out 2 projects so far. We've been able to give them more than 300 beehives, and then we act as the market. So we give them the resources, which is the beehives. We give them the education, where they're able to learn about beekeeping, how to harvest honey, how to do packaging, and then we are the market where we buy the honey from them. So they will always have consistent market, which brings about consistent income for them. So meaning 3 months they're able to get. Also, we've partnered with local organizations to be able to get the project running. And I can say so far so good. We have supported more than 100 women in beekeeping. We have a network of more than 300 farmers right now. And through that, we have been able to sell locally within Kenya and Tanzania, And right now, through the project that started in 2020, we have been able to bring the honey to the United States. So I believe that this is a story, with time to come, this is a story that I'll be able to sit and say and show the people that we have been able to impact through the business, and share with them the African honey and the African products that they can enjoy. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you so much, Joreen. Like one of the young people who has vision, and we are trying to more work, collaborate together. We have so much wonderful vision. That's why we created this platform of Young African Voices, because I saw the passion of everybody has a different talent. So we all come together to contribute and find solution for that. There is Dr. Hannah here from Costa Rica. I'm going to give her like 2 minutes, Dr. Hannah, if you can give us your overview about our discussion about what we have done. Then we give the floor to Queen Mother again. Dr. Anne, are you available? So also our brother, one of my mentor, and here German, he's from Ghana. He was an immigrant in the US. He went back to the continent and started projects, investment project in Ghana. And also he has a TV channel where he feature and also tell stories of inspiration and Africa. 2 years ago, he started a movement. He bring me to lead the movement of also young group of young people, and we work together. Thank you so much for joining the platform. We are going to give it now to Queen Mother to conclude for us and give us her remark on her overview, so we don't take it longer. Again, thank you so much for joining.
You're welcome. It's great to see young people like yourself leading the effort. So I'll mute myself back up and listen. All right.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you hearing from you. Queen Mother, I think now the floor is yours after you hear all our burden or what is bothering us, as we can say. And we want to hear your recommendation and give us hope, fill us with that positive energy that you always have.
Mary, could you be possible to unmute Queen Mother Oshisu?
Can you help me? Can you help me to unmute?
Yeah, now you are unmute.
Okay, wonderful. You see how smart you are with technology, and I'm sure you're more smarter with AI. Queen Mother, as you know, is from the old school. But as I listen to you, young leaders, you're on the right track. But to do everything that you want to do, it's a honor, and it was wonderful to hear the male child involved with you as he for she, part of that movement at the United Nations. And when I listen to the areas that you are addressing on your platform, mental health, reclaiming our children is the priority of a sister from Tanzania, not only Tanzania, but throughout Africa. We're coming to the United States very young and working very hard in the United States for her family, for her children in particular. And then her children are snatched from her in foster care. So in mental health, this is very, very critical to address these issues. It took this mother 5 years from Tanzania to reclaim or get her children back. the custody of her children took 5 years, this week in particular, which Queen Mother was with her in Massachusetts, in Boston, Massachusetts, and reclaiming her children back to her custody. All she wanted to do is to feed her children, take care of her children, giving them other opportunities of being here in the United States. The little girl at the age now of 11, she was snatched 5 years ago, and now she's 11, and she was lying next to me on a bed, and she says to me, Queen Mother, it's insane what they have done to us. And now the mother is ready to send them to Tanzania after birth now, home at the age of 11. At the age of 11, the children understand about being kidnapped. So as she told her story, mental health is crucial to all of us. So I thank you, Doctor, for addressing this issue for Queen Mother. It is the 55 million of us who's been robbed from our ancestors over 400 years. And as you know, Queen Mother now is going everywhere in Mother Africa for us to return home to our ancestors. So I thank you for that, because suffering from what another elder would say, psychoneurosis, is what we are suffering from that horror, from that terrorist of a people, from the transatlantic ocean of the slave trade, which we were talking to the United Nations. We have our permanent form of the 55 million African descendants, where some of you now live in the United States. What I want you to do for Queen Mother, and I will send it to our leader today, we have called on President Joe Biden, he's still the president, to deal with us of $3 trillion down payment for reparations, to make us whole again, and for us to return home with resources that belongs to us. The greatest crime has been committed against African descendants in the United States of America. In spite of Ghana, that's given over 500 passports of citizenship to Ghana less than 2 weeks ago. So as we are coming home, is what role will we play to be involved with the lives of you young women that I'm speaking to on this platform this morning in New York? I would advise you with the issues that are heard in health, quality education, agriculture to feed yourself. Nicole, we are feeding ourselves this morning in Africa with agriculture. Nicole is from Trinidad and Tobago, that's here talking to Queen Mother this morning. Agri, you must feed yourselves. It's very critical what you're talking about when I heard the beehive this morning from you. You are correct. Agriculture has to be the priority. See, eat what you grow what you eat. Eat what you grow and grow what you eat. That's what Mother Africa needs from you young leadership women. Plan of action. It is imperative that you organize yourselves, be ready for the Commission on the Status of Women is around the corner. Come with that platform. Come with a strong plan of action. Mama Gertrude Margella will adore you, young people. She led us into Beijing, China, from Tanzania. Mama Gertrude Margella. And we're hoping that she will be in New York to join us in March. If not, carry her voice, plan of action to the United Nations women. It's a plan of action, but with that plan of action, it is finances, what you need for development. Finance for development. Going to the World Bank is beautiful and it's cute, but we don't need no more going to no World Bank. All of the natural resources lies in the belly of Mother Africa. That's where it's at. And we are going in that direction of that negotiation for those resources that you need to develop Mother Africa. And you must develop all of it. Your ancestors are waiting for you to do so. As we pass the legacy, send the legacy to you, or pass the legacy to you. And that's what Queen Mother is doing this morning for all of you.
No, we cannot hear you. Queen Mother, we lost your... Jermaine, please turn your voice on. I would like to request everybody in the session, please unmute your mic if you are not speaking, so we avoid the interruption. You still mute. No, you still mute. Just click on the mic button. So we move on with our conference.
Is it off now?
Now it's on.
Yeah, we can hear you, Mom.
Let Queen Mother finish, children. It is imperative that the commission of the status of women understand your platform and what you're bringing in. That is plan of action. The women want to see action, implementation now. And this is the time for it. The UN women must be engaged with you. It's two different groups I'm speaking of in the spirit energy of Mama Gertrude Mangela. She led us into Beijing, China, and it's the plan of action. As we pass the legacy to you, go on and start best practices on the continent of Mother Africa. Start it. Come in to the Commission on the Status of Women in March 2025 with the plan of action and the resources that you need. If we have to lobby to get those resources for you to implement, then Queen Mother will give you guidance and will give you the support that you need. But I want you to be clear, African children, everything you are looking for lies in the belly of Mother Africa. And you must negotiate those royal blessings that's been given to Mother Africa. Everything. There should be no child with a big belly and showing hunger. There is no such thing as that. Change that narrative. Everything lies in her belly, and the world is there taking and pulling while we on the phone and while we on the Zoom right now. Understand what God has given Mother Africa and go for it. And Queen Mother will be there with you to do so. I will send you the press release that we have presented to the United Nations. Cut the check. Cut the check. They owe Mother Africa to cut the check and make her whole again. so we don't have to be concerned about diseases and problems. This is not problem time. It's about development time. It's about wellness time for us suffering with psychoneurosis. 11-year-old child born in America from Tanzania mother said, Queen Mother, this past week as I was with her, and the mother is pulling for the custody of her children, said to me, Queen Mother, this is insane what they doing to us at the age of 11. Kidnapped from my mother. It's insane. So the children understand at the age of 11 and 7 and 6 what's happening to their lives. So I asked of you leadership women this morning or this afternoon or this night, go on and do what you must do. As Queen Mother was in Montpellier, I was there with the big Olympics in France. I was there with the young people. They talked about peace and security in Montpellier, France. And I say to you all, Montpellier, as I say to you, go on and run as fast as you can run. Run and do what you must do. And the gift that you have, the brilliancy I hear from you young women of leadership, you know what time of day it is. Go on now and do what you must do with the support of your brothers, he for she. Bring them on underneath your camp and go forward and run as fast as you can run with your sneakers on. Run, run. You did it at the Olympics. I was there. Run as fast as you can for the development of Mother Africa. And Queen Mother will give you all of her support. Everything you looking for is right in front of you. Negotiate it and move the needle. Move the platform. And as Queen Mother will always be here to support you. Blessings upon you, and may God continue to lead and guide you. And don't look back. Don't look back. Look forward in the vision and your creativity that you have been given as a gift, which is your innate gift. Only the Creator, only God, that force greater than yourselves have been given to you women. Go on and develop it. Your platform is the plan of action in 2025. Go on. Blessings upon all of you. It's been a joy listening to you today on this Zoom of this summit, Beijing, on this summit, preparing for the CSW 2025. Go on and do what you are destined to do. Go on, dearly beloved women. Go on, daughters. Go on. Blessings upon you, Queen Mother.
Oh, thank you so much, Queen Mother. This is just a wonderful call to action. I know after you speak, I think it's always difficult for everybody else to say any word. We just get that motivation to go under the ground and take an action, mobilize young women, change our communities, apply the recommendations that you give us here in this platform. Thank you so much. Like everybody now in the chat is acknowledging our speech, and they say, thank you. This is a call to act, to take an action and move, work in the agriculture, the economic resources that we have. It has to start within the continent because we have everything there available, as she said in her speech. And she will send me this declaration. I'm going to forward it to the whole platform of young people. We need to sign it. We need to read it and raise awareness to people about how important that it is. It's time to move on. So, Queen Mother, I think the best for us now to take a picture and you leave before you leave, so we have a memory and documenting this event. And then we move on with the young people to this session. But thank you so much, Queen Mother, for always making yourself available to us young people all the time to work with us and welcome us. So picture time. I would like most of you, if you can have your camera on. So we take a picture for the whole group, remembering this, documenting this wonderful day, because this will be in the archive of our activity as we submit the whole projects together. As I have mentioned to you, we have already submitted the first draft of the declaration to the UN Women and the CSW committee as young people. Today is the day that we are developing this declaration and puts more inside. So I think now it's ready. Everybody is here. I want somebody to take the pictures from that side. So in German, Irene, and Anne, if three of you can have your camera on, please. Somebody, we would like to acknowledge also the presence of Imam Simbusa, the founder of African Youth Architecture, and was one of the partners that help us to make this event happen for today. Thank you so much for the support for young people. I think, are you in the position to take the camera, the picture from there?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Are you taking it, Imamsi?
No, you do, because I'm using my phone.
Oh, okay. Just because I just want to be clear on the picture.
Oh, you could do like a screenshot from your laptop that will have an entire screen. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Were you able to do it?
No, I'm still looking for it.
Do you use a Mac?
Yeah, it's Mac.
Okay, do Command and 4, I guess.
Comment and 4. Okay.
Yeah, the Command button and press 4.
Yeah, or Command Shift 3. You can
Yeah, I
press
guess so.
Command 3.
Wonderful. Wow, this is very.
But it's okay. Anybody who
I already get. I get
can do it.
one.
Or
I get
anybody
one.
can do it, then send us the picture.
I have two now on my side. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, wonderful. So
Thank you. Great events.
great event, yeah.
Great talks.
Event.
With Matter, everybody.
Guys, I like all the spirit, your spirit, your energy. And then I think we also, today is a difficult day. It's a church day. I know a lot of you have commitment for church, religious purpose. So many of you are busy, and also it's a different time zone between here and the continent. Those who are still make themselves available to attend the event, thank you so much. That really means your dedication, your commitment towards the young women and the continent, your beautiful inspiration and soul to work on this, to be part of this strategic implementation and review of the document of young women. This is history has been made. So everybody who has been part of this process was their name and their organization was under the document that we have already submitted. The first part to be reviewed. The second one, we will work more on the recommendations and we resubmit it, and we have the version also available translated to French to those West African country and Portuguese too. So I think up to here, we are concluding. Mary. Mary,
leader.
yes, Queen Mother.
Queen, yes. Put New Future Foundation. New Queen Mother group is called New NEW Future, FUTURE, New Future Foundation.
Foundation.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
INC.
Oh, that's great. So thank you so much. I think we added now Queen Mother New
Yes.
Foundation also on the list.
Yes.
We will have the group of people that work on it. Thank you so much, Queen Mother. We will also, look for more to teach us about your foundation and help
Yes.
us develop our organization. This great
Yes.
vision. And
Finance, remember Queen Mother says, finance for development. Queen Mother looking for the finance for you, to support you to do what you must do of the plan of action.
Finance for development. So our call to action today is finance for development. Everybody in this group, we have to think about how we may take the action for finance for development. After the session, we are going to have another conversation. We continue on that. We will see how everybody can bring their expertise, their footprint to the table, so we can be able to work in this action plan, please. So I think Mary, Mary, are you still on the call?
Hi, Mary. Yes, I'm on the call. I've just been listening, of course. So,
Yes,
Queen Mother, I really loved your
camera is
submission,
off.
Mother. Yes,
Mary is the main person, actually. We had a committee.
Yeah, it's a bit dark, maybe. That's why I
Don't worry.
turn the
Yeah, we can
camera
hear
off.
you.
So I could keep on with the adjournment of the convent. All right, cool. Lastly, we're so honored to have you, Queen Mother, and we loved your submission, the recommendation. I heard you speak about agriculture. I heard you speak about fronting, because that's where the are. I was really, really feeling your passion as a young person, and I was like, wow, this is what I really needed to have as a take home. And I believe all the young people that are here on this platform, that something, and also you hinted on something that is really key, that is mental health. As young people, I'm calling us all, to think about the mental health. And now we can get in touch with Dr. Minata to create that awareness, right? And the access to the mental health, to mental as we wish to the women out there. So I'm proud of all of us who have turned up. Thank you very much, Mary, convening this up, seeing different speakers. Of course, there's been some bit of networking I've heard from many people. Thank you to the next session, and probably to the implementation that we're going to do, because we're here to right, learn, and also implement what you've learned. Recommendations from Queen. Thank you very much, everyone who has come, and look forward to the next session, and looking forward to meeting you in person, but even especially as we implement all that we're supposed to do on the continent for the betterment of a young girl child on the continent. Well, with that, allow me adjourn the session, and we get some tea break. We rest a bit. Probably we'll come back in just a few minutes. Thank you, Queen Mother.
I think what should happen now, Queen Mother is leaving and everybody is leaving. We have some people who joined, so those one we can have after the session. So thank you so much, Queen Mother, again. You give me that energy and empowerment to take action. I'm one of the leaders for a long time. I would like to talk about my ideas and the visions that I have. And my grandmother always used to tell me, Mary, don't just talk about your wonderful idea. Please take action. Please take action. So months ago, when I called her, she was saying, now I'm happy you are taking action. I just don't want you to keep that attitude of talking and not doing things. But since I get this wonderful energy of young women, Mary and the others who motivate me, when I come with the vision, they motivate me. They are doing it. That's why we are doing this successful event. as a group of people, and this is the power that we will continue doing it. We promise Queen Mother from this day. Thank you so much. Okay, guys.
Blessings.
Bye, Queen Mother. Blessings.
Blessings upon all of you. Blessings.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. So we have to let Queen Mother go, right? About now, and even some of us. Yeah, so that we prepare for what's coming next. Mary, well done. And to every girl child and the boy child that has supported us through this session, thank you very much. Yeah, we're looking forward to the implementation, session of it. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're good to go.
So
the meeting is done.
Yeah, I think if we done Agnes, those people join us later on. Agnes, Rick, and Project Peace Light, and Irene is here.
Yeah.
Those are the people who join us later on. Let me know. So, okay, I think what we should do now, Mary, we are going to give each person who just come later on now 2 minutes to do their intervention. And after that, we can conclude with the session because we took so long for that. Okay, Rick, do you want to add any addition, please? So before we conclude, and thank you for joining the event again.
I haven't joined the event since the last event that we had, Mary. You know that. Hi, everybody. My name is Rick from New York. Yes, my dear. I was special aid to Fude.
Rick, because you are the most important person in this session, because you remind me the vision of Ambassador Fude and the vision that he always wants us to work, and especially with you, in agriculture in the continent. So, yeah.
Mary, every time that name comes up, you know how close he was. He was like my dad, my grandfather, my mentor, many years before he was ambassador. I have the opportunity to know a very great man. I have to say, top 3 great men in my life I know, and teach me a lot about life and how to pursue things in life and how to approach things in life and how to look at things outside of the box, and how to approach people and how to see things in a big way. And we had so much plans when we talked because, Mary, you know how we started this and, and we had a plan for this, entire way how to start it, how to finish it. And he had a great vision. And when he passed, I passed with it, and I just fell off. I left everything. We had several projects online and I walked away from everything. It hurts me every day. I miss, people say, say these things, oh, I miss you, but I actually miss him every day, really and truly. When I watch his picture, there's somebody that that is great and actually help people genuine. And that's the thing in life. Genuine is a lot of things. So anything that you want and you need help with, and I can assist with the team. It was a strange thing. I just came online today and I saw it and I was like, let me join. I haven't joined, and you had so much sessions, and I said, let me join. So whatever you need, I trade commodities. I'm dealing with a lot of Africa right now, Tanzania, Angola. I'm doing a lot of commodity trades to China also. Actually, so that's why I said whatever help you want, I can open great opportunities. There's, the program that we open in Guyana. That remember we got Guyana to join West Africa Trade Agreement. Those things are still there. If people need, the technology to know how to grow rice in their community and these types of things, we have all the technology that you need. We have all the support. Over the couple of years, what I did was commodity trading. I actually have a front desk in China now that they buy all our commodities. It's a kind of hard fetch for people to deal directly with them. Very few people that have a buying house for them. So there's a lot of opportunities for the young entrepreneurs here if they want stuff and resources. And those were the types of things me and Fude, I have to say, I call him that, but sorry, ambassador. I was so close to him. Every time I call him anything else, he said, no, don't call me that. You know my name, call me that name. So I saw a custom calling in that. But Ambassador, we had a way to fund this thing by doing this thing, Mary, you know that. And we didn't have any issues of getting all the money that the community needed for agriculture. We had a way of doing it. So I will share that with you and tell you on a private how we do it in a sense that how we bring businesses and people come together and we could try to push that effort now. And with my connections and stuff, we can try to help on a grander scale now. So anything you need now, you can reach out to me. I'm here to assist you in any way that you need. So free to help. Any hour I'm available, reach out. And
Yeah.
if you need anything, I think we should have a private talk in a sense of entrepreneurship with the agriculture and see if we can launch that program because there's many opportunities right now, more than ever. And we've been preaching Africa 10, 15 years before we even have these things. And look where Africa is. We actually get on a railway in Africa now, back up and running. There's a lot of trade that's going to happen in Africa. Africa is wide open. A lot of people see where Africa is. I know I passed my 2 minutes, but I'm letting the people know in the continent of Africa.
Take your
Things
time.
are going to change. Things are going to change in 2025. Don't be despair. Africa is going to be the leader. You have to see what happened in the last couple of months. All the world leaders are in Africa. The trade is going to change into Africa. I know there's a lot of more educated people than here that has a lot of data and a lot of analysis on things, but we see things in a perspective of finance and trade. And Africa is it. That railway between Tanzania and Lesotho and those things are just the starting point. There's a large gas reserve in Africa is going to rise that's going to feed the world. So I'm telling you, people in Africa, don't be despair. We're going to be on top. The vision of 2050 is going to be the leader, is going to be Africa. We have to bridge a gap to see how we can get all the Africans to unite to show that power. And that's the future, what he wanted. That's what all the top leaders that he speaks to in the world. How can we get all the African community to say the word Africa? And we don't say Tanzania, we don't say this, we don't say that. Where we say we're from Africa, and that's it. So we have a common ground, and anything you guys need help with, I'm here in any way I can help.
Yeah, Rick, I really think it's a blessing today to conclude this event because you are the missing part. Actually, I think when Ambassador bring me to lead this Young African Youth in the Diaspora group, I think he saw that vision on me and all the people, like the other people that he bring on board. He asked me to mentor them. And then at that time, I was thinking like, why ambassador should give me that very important role? It was difficult. But I think he saw the potential if everyone and the ability that we can do it together. So now you being in the call here, now you really work that spirit of me of working because we have everything ready. I'm going to reach out to you after this call and we will strategize. I have all the connections. I have all the resources. And even have some people on the ground that they work in agriculture and they have the ready lands in different countries. I just remember my brother, Lahin Nadu from Senegal, he has the Natago farm. He was one also of the people who were partner with this event.
Yes.
So we are
Central,
going to map this together after the meeting.
sure, not a problem. We already,
Yeah,
he
all the
already
connections for the African countries.
he had something mapped out for Senegal. He was on the final stages for it.
Oh.
Mother was there at the event when we kept the last event for West Africa. And if she could remember, she gave us the blessing. Queen Mother was there at the last event we had when he represented. And we had something planned really well that we're going to be self-sufficient to run this organization. And I think as you take over now in a sense and the team that you have, I think we are better organized now in a better sense of executing. And as your grandmother said, we all talk as young kids a lot. Is how we're going to execute. So I think we have a lot of grounded people here that can keep us because when we do it, all these things, our mind shifts so much in so much different directions. So I'm on board, and yes, we have anything, as I said, anybody we can try to help, and yeah, we're here, definitely.
Wonderful. I will be reaching out to you because I have I have a roadmap and I have the connection for all the African countries especially West Africans. We have so much visions. But now I think you come in the project, the vision has already worked out because we have African youth voices and connections, governments in those countries. So this is what we will be doing for sure. This is a success. This is success. I'm glad that we have done it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have so much actually projects that are coming because I spoke to and Dr. Buji. We have reached out to so many African embassies and head of state, like so many embassies in the DMV area and back in the continent. We develop our connections. So we'll be handing you most of the projects, and then we'll work with there. But this is really a this is what I call it a surprise transformative summit, because you guys don't understand. Rick coming to the project, like my late mentor, Ambassador Fude, came to the term today is attending with us this meeting. And we have the vision really done. I'm taking it more, I will be more emotional, so I don't want to talk more about
Yeah, that's why I don't want to talk.
that.
So,
Yeah, so I'm just going to hand it to the next person.
yeah,
Peace Light, Project Peace Light. Pet Regina, you want to tell us anything at the end of this summit? Pets have the Peace Light projects and also a peace educational program that work in the continent. Is developing this curriculum to be taught in the system of African education system. Pet, are you available? If not, then we can take it to Agnes, Sister Agnes, international expert. Agnes work in climate change. She just joined the call. She's one of the main speakers today in the panel on the session, and one of the people who were in the organizing committee from the beginning. Agnes.
Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Can we all hear me?
We can hear you, Agnes.
Oh, okay. My name is Agnes. I'm sorry I had to kind of join in late. I had church activities and I just had to like hop in when I was like on my way, but now I'm home and well positioned and well seated to hear and to speak and also listen to everything that we have to say. And first of all, I want to say thank you so much to Mary and the committee, the team that has put this together. Thank you so much to Queen Mother for the very insightful contribution, especially laying emphasis on agriculture and the need for us to consume what we're actually producing. And that's kind of, there is a very close intersection between her conversation or that comment and climate change. So basically, I am Agnes Iwaye. I'm a policy analyst, but my focus is on climate change. I've done research on climate change and conflict, and also understanding how limited resources or resource scarcity actually causes conflict majorly in Africa. Well, my focus was on Chad, and that's still going to be part of our conversation today. So I would have said, oh, I should have created a slide, but I thought this was going to be more conversational, as we were supposed to have like a moderator that would just put it together, but it's just going to be more of an interactive session, so we can just rub minds. And first of all, I would also want us to know that this conversation is still having a very close link with the Beijing Declaration, which is going to be 30 years, I suppose, this next year. So we are my focus is going to be on the impact of climate change and how we can align it to the female gender. However, we are all impacted. Climate change respects no gender. So we are all in this together. And another thing I would love us to emphasize, I know this group or this conversation is not being done by just majorly Africans, but I know that we are the ones that have the population, like the most population in this meeting. And because Africa is also that strategic continent that has many of that kind of takes the pitfall of the impact of climate change. So that's why my focus is also going to be on Africa and basically the Sahel region, because they are the one that is actually bad hit. I want us, before we start talking about the detrimental part and what is not working, what is really working in Africa. We all know that Africa is a very great continent, an amazing one that is beautiful at that. I'm Nigerian and I got into the United States 3 years ago. And I must say that while United States is amazing and all that, we cannot overemphasize the beauty and the glory in our continent, Africa, and also in my country, Nigeria. Africa is known to have very beautiful and very relevant natural resources that is being depleted these days due to the impact of climate change. The reason we need to address this is that Africa on its own is actually emitting just less than 4% of greenhouse gases. Meanwhile, we are taking a higher percentage of the impact. What are we going to do about that? What will you and I do about that? The equation is not really equating. There is no balance. This is why we really have to speak out as advocates, as individuals. Africa is the most vulnerable region, despite the fact that we have the natural resources and all that. It is very paradoxical because the impact and the relevance of our natural resources are really not seen per se. And they are not seen because it's the benefits of what the natural resources are supposed to give to us. We are not seeing it due to the current emission of greenhouse gas emission. So taking us back to what has been the effect of these emissions so far. We've seen effects like deforestation. We've seen desertification. I beg your pardon. We've seen pollution, climate-induced disaster, and diverse of them. And one major one that I would like to talk about is this desertification. By the time we keep, or the larger continents keep infusing greenhouse gas emission into the atmosphere, the repercussion is global warming. And from that, we are leading to drought. Drought is affecting our land. And because our lands have been affected, how can we really invest in agriculture? I understand that agriculture is the major thing that we've been doing over the years, is Africans' major source of livelihood. But how can we really rely on this based on the fact that climate change is affecting this particular region? Not just as regards desertification, because the drought eventually leads to resource scarcity. And I'll give you an instance. For instance, if we know about the Lake Chad Basin has been reducing over the years right now, and currently it has reduced for about 90%. And Lake Chad Basin is surrounded by Chad, Benin Republic, Nigeria, and I think one other country that I can't remember right now. 4 countries surrounding and depending on this particular basin. The fact that this keeps reducing is causing a whole lot of conflict within this region, because the little source of livelihood left, the little resources left in this particular region is what thousands and millions of people are actually competing for. For instance, the fights that keeps breaking out between the herders and the farmers in Chad is still based on this competition for limited resources. The farmers need the water to water their plants, while the herders need the water to also feed their flocks. What does this have to do with the Beijing Conference declaration? I will tell you why. Do you know that with the impact of climate change, women are actually the mostly hit with this? And let's rub minds together and make this more practical. In most homes, women are considered as the housekeepers, the ones that have to put things together, have to get the water, get the food, get everything, take care of the kids. Everything they need is mostly dependent on water. And I will give you an instance during my research. Do you know that in Chad, when there is something called water for fish, And this is very clear, but some people call it water, fish for flesh. And I will explain to you. Do you know that because the women cannot, because the sea is depleting, because the sea is drying up, and the women can no longer go deep down into the sea to actually fetch water that they need as resource, that they need for their daily activities. So the men go deep down to fetch water for them, or even fish for them, so that the women can sell at the market. And when they bring the fish out or they get water out for them, they tend to sleep with these women, sleep with these young girls. Those young girls could be you or myself. These young girls could be your family members or someone you know. They sleep with them and then they give them the fish, or they sleep with them and then they give them the water. It's not just in Chad. I worked with someone who is a Mandela Fellow from Sierra Leone. She said the same thing, water for water, that's sleeping with people just to give them water. That's very absurd. And that's why we see that we have teenage pregnancies. That's when we see the infiltration of diseases. And the bedrock and the root of all this is just due to the impact of climate change. It might seem that Africa is very, we do not have the resources, or it seems, in quotes, that we do not have the power per se to make an influence or to make an impact. We have a voice. No one has actually taken our voices from us. And we have to stand up and speak on those voices. There have been projects that have been ongoing. We've heard about climate financing. Is there accountability for this? We've heard about the green wall that is being built to build trees and reduce desertification, deforestation, and all that. But are these things really in alignment with everyone's needs? And this call today, I believe it's a rejuvenation for you and I to actually stand up and actually engage in actions and not just speaking, like Mary Elias said. Enough of really, I'm not saying we shouldn't attend conferences, but right now at this point, I think we need actions. We need to do something. And how can we act? Not everyone is going to build the solar panels, but whatever you can do in support of the solar panels, then let's do it. Not everyone might be at the United Nations to say something, but whenever you've seen something, then you have to say something. I think that's a regular word that is being used for safety. We should reduce the proliferation of youth organizations that we have, then come together as one so that we can be a force that would actually influence change. And trust me, at every point and with every position that you hold, you have something that you can actually give towards this growth, towards the development of Africa. I know a couple of product owners who work with Google, who work with Microsoft. They are developing products that would actually aid sustainable development, that will aid people with disabilities, mobility products. I heard of one other person who is a product manager who is currently creating a product that will help females in Africa to be able to monitor their periods. You have something inherently deposited in you that you can actually give. We as Africans, we as individuals, we as youth, we have enough energy. Do you know that Africans, in the whole of African population, the youth, you and I, we make 60% of the population. We have strength. I did a research recently concerning workforce development in the United States, and I realized that the United States population is getting older. But the reverse is the case for us because our population is younger and we are not leveraging on it. This is why we should speak out that youth actually need to be empowered. We have to be very included if we really want a sustainable development. The future is now. We need to invest more in educating the youth. And this is not until we have leaders sitting up there educating the youth. You yourself, you have something to do to the youth around you. We have values to actually share with other people for them to be able to know what is going on. Because some of these people, the reason they are engaged in deforestation or desertification is based on lack of knowledge. Because it's not just climate change that is causing all these human activities as well, is also impacting and causing climate change. Overgrazing is causing it. Unprotected farming or unsustainable farming is also causing it. If people are more aware on better ways and better measures to farm, then there would be better way to actually curb climate change. Then let's not forget technological advancements. We do not have to have the Messiah mentality waiting for the developed country to come and save us. Believe me, you and I, Africa has all it takes to also save itself or herself. We have to put ourselves together as individuals, as youth, with a lot of understanding and push for more sustainable development. And until we have these measures put in place, then I do not think that the declaration and what the Beijing Declaration is fighting for, which is equity, gender equality, and all that, I'm not sure if it's really going to be established or is going to be evident. If we have the notion or the priorities of the Beijing Declaration, then we should always be aware that whatever action we are taking we have the most marginalized, which the female specifically. We have the most affected, the female gender being considered as the minority in this sense. We need to have that in mind. We need to push for more sustainable farming, climate financing that is equitable, not just advocating for climate financing. They just finished the COP29. Following up and to make sure that it is sustainable. And when it is time to actually make decisions and make policies as well, we have to ensure that women, that's the people that are hit by this impact, the people that are most affected, are seated on the table of decision making. And this is why we keep advocating for the inclusion of women in politics, inclusion of women in government. We alone know where it hurts the most. There is need for every individual to keep fighting for the actualization of sustainable development. The future of Africa's environment lies in the hands of us, in the hands of everybody. And together, I believe that we can actually work to heal the continent. The continent needs you and I. The continent needs our expertise. And from the continent, then we can take it to the whole world. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. If you have any question, please, the floor is
Agnes,
open.
that's really wonderful. Thank you so much, Agnes. You are a really young, energetic, motivated. I just want you to, since you started the part, I was a little, to tell us about your inspiration. What inspired you into leadership and also work in women finance, women and climate? So for young.
Thank you so much. So basically, like I said earlier, I am originally Nigerian. I got here 3 years ago, and having been exposed to the opportunities and the things in the United States, and also having to pass through the education process of the United States, to be honest, it's been mind-blowing and it's been very expository. I did a research, and it's taking me back to the question as Mary asked about what inspired me. So I did a research, and before I go into my research, I'm a first-generation student, so you should know how it's kind of a struggle to actually get into school, to actually get education. So while I was in school, I did a research on climate change and just going deep down, watching videos, reading books. And I began to see what women are actually going through. And by the way, I had my bachelor's in international relations as well. So I'm not new to this. But just going deep down into the international space and international conflict, it became very absurd to know that the less developed people, or the less contributors are the ones suffering for the huge consequences. So because of that, I started delving more into it, engaging in youth activities and youth conferences and summits. I attended the World Bank Youth Summit in 2022, and it was very fascinating as well when we're talking about the power of inclusion. I've been to the United States a couple of times and also the UNGA just to listen to leaders and to see where the fate of the youth would be. Understanding the intricacies of the impact of climate change and how women are at the forefront of the impact is why I am super motivated to this. And it also has to do with me because I still have family back home that live so close to the Lake Chad Basin. And we've all heard of the Boko Haram insurgencies. It's happening right there. It is live. It's happening in my country, Nigeria. We've heard about different killings between the herders and the farmers. This is not just, some of them unfortunately think it's religious conflict. Those are some of the misconceptions. If people have enough resources to actually live, there will be less fighting because there will be nothing to actually fight about. If some other girls like me have opportunity to be well knowledgeable or well educated, then we can have less teenage pregnancies. So these are the things that inspire me to want to have a better world, to want to also have a space at the table of decision making. And trust me, if there are no seats for me, then I can create my own table and get people to come around it so we could have this conversation. So basically, that's been my inspiration so far.
Thank you so much, Agnes. I think Agnes has concluded for us the whole call to action today, as Queen Mother left us with the call to action, the foundation of development and also work in agriculture to cultivate the resources that we have. But Agnes has concluded and explained to us everything in detail. Yeah, that is really wonderful, Agnes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
She's an international expert and a person also who motivates a lot of young people. Pet Regina, are you still on? So you can give us 2 minutes about the importance of peace education in Africa and how that can change the scenario of the current conflicts that we have in the continent. I know you have been playing the amazing peace light on the background. So Pat is not available to speak. I think that is it for today. I am left with so much honor, emotion. I'm so much proud of the energy of all young African women in the mission of Young African Women Coalition in the diaspora. Our vision is to unite the voices of young women in the continent and also in Africa to work in issues that matter to us as young women, our generation, and shaping that future to the upcoming generation. So this is how we do it. This is one of the issues. This summit is one of the ways that we do it. We still have a lot of work that we're doing behind, a lot of work that is need to be done, a lot of work that we are educating, that we are empowering, we are giving the knowledge, the culture to other African young women, so then they can be motivated, so that they can be qualified leader, they can lead in their space. The goal is to bring the talent of these young women, and also inspired by African women, we still want to change the scenario of when people think about young women leading, and an African woman leading. I think somebody told me a while ago, you are a woman, why you want to get involved in talking in issues that doesn't matter to women, why you want to talk in politics, why you want to talk about issues that haven't, problems that haven't been solved. And I was telling him, for me as a woman, I have the skills, the same skills that men have. and all women has, and things has been changed back home in the continent, because you haven't been there for a while, because now we have women who are in a leadership position, women who are leading governments, women who are taking action, women who are representing us in the multilateral system, women who are starting within their space, women who also has working day by day to changing the scenario of the development of the continent, to change to change our narrative and our history. It has been a wonderful event, and I would like to thank all of you who came. You took from your time to work for the continent, to make commitment in working for young women. Also, I think at the conclusion, we added all these great recommendations that you have added for the first draft that we have already submitted to the UN Women in the document of CSW, the review of the declaration. This group we created for the girls, for young women who are in South, West, East, Central Africa. As we have stated earlier, we are all the same. We don't take this political colonial demarcation when it comes to our border. We all united in African as one people. The other draft that we will be is already the draft that have been sent. This one will be added to the recommendation, and it will be available. That one we have already submitted it also to some of our head of state, some of our elders, and they go through it. I'm proudly to say that we have made it to be part of this transformation in our history. Beijing Declaration, it was 1995. That time we were still young. And most of us, some of us here wasn't born in 1995. So for that generation of our mothers, Winnie Mandela, grandmothers who has made that history, we made them proud today by walking in their step feet, by completing their mission, and make sure that we stay informed, strategize, we work on what they have started, we are developing it, we have the vision, we are continuing their journey, we are making our community as young women, our solidarity better day by day. I want to go back. I think by here we conclude the meeting. I just want to thank all of you guys who have done this work. It wasn't easy to put all these events within a short time, but we made it possible. We didn't have enough time for that, but all the organizing team who have made it possible. And I want to thank our partners again, everybody who work in building, making this project happen. I have mentioned most of the partner at the beginning. And then here also I wanted to go and talk about, represent to you some of the people that I haven't mentioned at the beginning. There is the Eritrean embassy, the women department, Mr. Hill. She was also one of the partners that work with us in this project. She wasn't able to join the meeting, but she sent us her message and gratitude. Brother Sheko Korea from ECOWAS. Thank you so much for the support. The Office of the AU Youth Envoy. We just concluded the African Youth Diaspora Summit 2 days ago. This is the US Rwandan Community Board. Misheba Regi. And also we have someone from the Ethiopian women community members. Thank you so much for all those people. Again, let us continue our work through building this Beijing Declaration better day by day. For those who will be attending the meeting, we are looking more into that to see you there in person at the United Nations headquarters. March 10th to 25th of March 2025. We have so much exciting projects following this. This is just the beginning, and it's the launching of what we have next. We'll be sharing this with our communities, with our platforms. We want to make sure that if you have any different, the next session, because we have the vision of changing the scenario of young African women. We want to showcase and surprise the world with our talent, with our skills. So the next sessions, the next events, I'm not going to reveal it now. We have this amazing community that we put 7 months ago and is still working in that project. We are going to live it. We want to show the world our skills, our talents, what we are capable for, what we have done. I'm working in that with my team. I put the strategize and the vision. We're going to surprise you with the much of the talent, the skills, the work that we have done is going to be available. I will share that. We share that in the platform. I don't want to make it announce it now. And I encourage most of the women also who have something special, they're doing something that they can reach out to me. So we'll put you part of the program. Rick, thank you so much for coming. You are awakening that vision of Ambassador Fude today on me again.
Not an issue.
Now I really have the spirit of working, the dedication of making that change, taking action, moving forward from together. Thank you so much for our interactive audience and also everybody who attend this session again, who were in our audience. See you again. This is me, Mary Apollo. The founder of For Direction in African Youth in the Diaspora Coalition convener, and I was the chairperson of this Beijing Declaration 2025 summit. Thank you so much. Bye.